The Purge episode 8 from season 2, obviously. Man, this season is just far superior to season 1. I just got done reviewing episode 9 of Castle Rock season 2, and I was saying the exact same thing. What a superior season to season 1. We're in really just like a golden age of television. There's so many incredible shows that I'm watching right now that are just so many fantastic seasons this year. It's wild. It's really, really wild. Anyways, but let's stick to the Purge now. The whole idea, I've mentioned this before, but man, it really hit me more than ever in this episode because this was the countdown to the Purge, and we got to see those last 12 hours before the Purge, and this episode ends right as the Purge sirens hit, which is pretty much what I had predicted, which is great setup. But man, doing it this way, doing a season, and I don't know if they could duplicate this. I don't know if they could do this again. But that being said, the fact that they did do it this way, it is such a better structure, a better excitement buildup this way. To have it start on the Purge. You don't even need to start it on the Purge, but I feel like it's crucial to what this story is obviously telling, because that's how we set everything up, is kind of the initial episode with the Purge and where everyone was and what everything was happening with them and how that's going to play into the next one. So it was crucial for this storyline. You didn't absolutely need it if you were going to do it in a different way, but this build-up, getting to know characters in their real normal life, you know, building up all of this mystery, all of this anticipation, whatnot, that kind of just arches all the way throughout the season. You build up these characters, you build up their arcs, you build up all this stuff, and then boom, you throw us right into the Purge 2 episodes before the end, and man, we're thrown into absolute chaos with characters we genuinely give a shit about. That's one thing that the Purge has had an issue overcoming, is that we didn't have a lot of time to build up characters before they're kind of thrown into a state of disarray. The Purge really kind of starts almost instantly at the beginning of all the movies, and at the beginning of the first season. It's just like we're thrown right in, and we have to grow an attachment to these characters as they're living through these terrible events. Now, they're able to pull it off, because I've liked everything Purge so far, but I'm way more invested in Marcus and his wife, Ryan and Esme, Ben, all these characters. I'm way more invested in these characters emotionally than I was in any previous characters in this franchise, whether it be the movies or the first season of the show. So, what a fantastic idea, and man, they've executed it well. I honestly don't even know what my favorite episode of this season is at this point. They just keep getting, they keep staying strong. I shouldn't say they keep getting better. That would make it obvious which is the better one. If they keep getting better, then the most recent episode would be the obvious. But I'm just saying they're so well done, especially these last few episodes. This episode was fantastic. Just such a great little prelude to the events of the Purge. Like, right, we bring us up right to the minute of the Purge. Boom, end credits, and what a great setup. I mean, just everything just is pushed right to that last second, and let's get into it. All right, so we've got Marcus breaking his son's arm right off the bat to put him in the hospital, and he has to have a real injury to go in there, and that is off limits to not only Purgers but the NFFA. I feel like the NFFA could definitely break those rules if they want. They're the ones that are going to prosecute themselves. They're the ones that with the eyes in the skies. So if they want to blank out some cameras for a second to go and get some fugitives, they're going to do it. So I feel like he's trusting the system a little bit more than he should, but it's an easy way to get rid of his son's problems. Now, that being said, I don't have confidence like he does that the son is free and clear. Like, I'm sitting here like, that doesn't mean anything. And if the NFFA is wanting to come after him, it doesn't have to wait for purge hours. Like, technically it's supposed to, but yet again, as I had said, so I'm not sure that we've seen the last of his son. Like, we could look at it like, all right, he's in the hospital. The purge will be the rest of the episode's time, and maybe he'll just go pick him up from the hospital at the end of the episode, or we'll see him in the hospital smiling or something. Who knows? But I'm not sure we're done with him yet. We'll see. But I'm not 100% on that. I could still see somebody coming after him. I don't know. All right. Wouldn't it be interesting if... I don't know what time periods these are because they're always very hazy in that way. I think there are hints at where we are in the purge timeline, like how many purges there were before election year, when the first purge was, because we know from the movie the first purge, obviously, and when was that implemented and how many years between. Somebody knows that. Somebody commented on that. But I don't know where these fall in line with each other, but I would think it would be interesting if this Purge Night that they're about to go into the next episode was actually the Purge Night from the first season. Wouldn't that be cool? To like see characters in the background, maybe run into them in some capacity for a second, like see him driving by, or like the kid's in the hospital and he's in the hospital with the previous season chick's mom who was in the hospital. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't that be cool? That'd be a really cool spin twist. Just a nod, just kind of a wink to the audience, little payoff. Probably won't happen, more than likely. And it's like that 1 in a million chance. But I was thinking about when he was going to the hospital, I was like, remember that other chick's mom was in the hospital and nothing really ever came of it? Why'd they even show that? It's like, wouldn't it be funny if they met up in the hospital and you're like, I recognize that chick. Who's that chick? And you're like, oh, wait, this is the same night. And then boom, you know, you have, you run into, I can't even remember any characters from the last season's names, but wouldn't that be cool? I think that would be really cool. It wouldn't have to be much, but just run into them for like 2 seconds. It'd be a great connection. Anyways, all right. I literally just came up with that right now on the spot. I didn't even think of that before I started this, but thinking about that right now, as I said, with his grandma being in there, I'm like, wait, that could be. All right. Interesting. Anyways, all right. Ben has totally lost his goddamn mind. Now, we knew he had lost his mind right when he had to kill his girlfriend, which is really sad, but he is gone. Absolutely gone at this point. Total serial killer. And they full on set this episode up. I actually was smiling. I had a big smile on my face because they were setting up the end of this episode and possibly the next episode. I didn't know at that point where it was going to go, but I was like, oh my God, they're straight up setting this up to be a slasher. Like, he's going to come back and it's going to be like freaking Black Christmas, but for men. And he's going to come back to the fraternity, not the sorority. And he's going to be in the house and he's going to be, killing them off one by one. I wish they would have done that, to be honest. I wish that they would have taken a little more time. I think they could have stretched Ben's storyline out and given us a full-blown slasher in the house, like just one by one. Then they band together and they're trying to this and that. And then he could have had his moment with his old buddy, Turner. And then he could have pulled him outside and do whatever he's going to do with him, which I'll speculate on here in a minute. But I just thought that was kind of a missed opportunity because they really did set it up. Now, we do get a little of it, and it feels more like a home invasion movie more so than a slasher. There are slasher elements. He's hiding behind something. The guy goes and checks the window like freaking, Grady up in the attic in Halloween 4 where he's like nailing everything shut. And, but yeah, I'm sitting there like, yeah, this is cool, and I like that there's slasher elements, but you could have elongated this. You could have stretched this out more throughout this episode or even the next episode. But we'll see. And what I think Ben's going to do with Turner there, I thought it was great that he leaves the other guy behind and he's like, I'm sorry, man. And he like runs off and he's like, Ben's like, there's the coward I know. Loved that. Like, Turner did not learn from his mistakes of the past. He did not change, and that is very realistic. Like a lot of the times people always have those big character moments where they learn, and then the next time it happens you think like, oh, are they going to be able to get over it this time? And then they always do. And this time he just goes straight back to how he was before, runs off on his friend, leaves him for dead. Nothing has changed. Loved that moment. Loved that moment. He's just kind of, I don't want to call him a coward because I don't know how I would respond in that situation. No one does, unless they've been in that situation. But the like even before that, when he has the crossbow to his throat, and he could have pulled the trigger. He could have ended him right there. Now the Purge sirens hadn't gone off, so maybe he was afraid he was going to get in trouble. But even if the Purge had been in effect at that point, I don't think he would have pulled the trigger. That's not to say that one of the other frat dudes behind him shouldn't have been like, I'll do it, and grab it and pull the trigger. I'll say Ben looks, in the beginning of this season, I thought Ben looked kind of wimpy, like not like a total wimp or anything, just kind of a plain average dude. But he really looks nuts. He really looks scary in this. Great job. Kudos to him for this, because his acting here, his physical, physical intimidation in this is actually pretty strong. He looks a lot buffer, like his shoulders and everything. He looks scary, and he's got this shaved head, and he's got this total nut look in his eye. I absolutely believe that he's a psychopath. Like, he sold that very well. So good on him for that. And yeah, good stuff all around with Ben. Now, what he's gonna do with Turner outside, I think he's gonna take him outside. Like, he's gonna pull him out into the Purge, and he's either going to make him purge somebody, or he's going to set him up to be purged. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like he wants him to overcome his fear. Like, when he's like, oh, there's the coward I know, and he gets up in front of him with the crossbow, he's like, pull the trigger, come on, do it. Like, he wants his friend to embrace the freedom that killing in the Purge brings you, as Ben sees it. So I almost feel like he's going to pull him out there, and it's going to be a kill or be killed scenario. I guess you could kind of put 2 in 1. Where is he going to make him the one to be killed, or is he going to make him kill? And it's like both. I guess you could just combine them and be like, he's going to put him in a situation, or maybe he'll lock him in a room with him, just like Ben got locked in the room and he left him behind, and he's going to be wearing the mask just like the other guy was, and it's just going to kind of be a full-on replay of what had happened before. Like, now he's going to put Turner in that situation that he was in to see if he can overcome it. So that sounds most likely, I guess, now that I'm kind of just hashing it out right here. I never really think about shit before I come down and press record, which sometimes is a good thing, sometimes it's not so good, but it's the way I do things. There you go. So what do you guys think? Of course, I want to know what you guys think of any of this stuff, where this is going to go in the next episode. Now, all right, I feel like Ryan and Esme's storyline here played off the best. Like, I feel like I got the most out of this part of this, and that there's just kind of a lot of backstabbing going on here, changing of the plans, all of that. Like, the way that they feel like I like the camaraderie moment where they're dropping the freaking knife in between each other's fingers, almost like a different version of the game that Bishop plays in Aliens. And then they all seem to be really buddy-buddy at this point. Ryan and Esme really seem to have a genuine relationship, love interest with one another, and the friends seem to be okay with that. So everyone seems to be solid in that way. They set up the plan. Esme asks her friend to come and call in a fake reports, and then boom, total double cross. They go, they activate it early, and then boom, I didn't even expect this at all. Totally out of nowhere. Great twist. The jackals are in on it with them. Boom, looks up in the truck. They're there. Kills that chick. I did not. Oh my God, when they shot her in the chest, and I was like, oh, her chest took it. Like, the chest protection or bulletproof vest took it. and it was like, then they popped her in the head, and I was like, oh my god, she's dead. Like, holy shit, like, that's done. Like, they got the money, they're good to go. And then boom, we see them outside of the prison, and the prison transport vans coming out. You would think that would be the worst time to transport a prisoner, would be during the purge. But I guess at that time, that's where they can break the rules, and maybe they're not allowed to transfer them, so that they could take them out during the purge, so that there's no laws. I don't know. I don't know what the laws are. I don't know what that is. It just seems like the worst possible time you could prison transport. But they did it. It's a little plot convenience, but whatever. Love to see that they're sitting outside of there. Love that the purgers come up to them and they're all trying to act tough. And it's like, bitch, you don't know tough. Like, they pull up machine guns and they're like, we're fucking soldiers. Like, get the fuck out of here, you little kids. Go purge, some old lady. You don't want none of this. And they're like, oh shit, let's get out of here. They pull like a knife out. It's hilarious. Good stuff there. But like, when they see the prison bus, I was like, oh man, big smile on my face. I was like, yes, they're going for their guy. How badass. And then Esme is just looking like Trinity with her bob haircut and her black motorcycle outfit, and she's riding around on her motorcycle. I was like, shit, is that Trinity? So she takes off. She's covering her face. She's riding around. Now, what she's going to be doing, I have no idea. Like, I don't know exactly what her aim in all of this is at this point. Like, what's her purpose right now? Why is she out there driving around? Like, why isn't she with them trying to get that guy back in the bus? Why wasn't she there for the jackals? Like, she's not doing anything, so why not just stay in the house if you're going to be seen? So she obviously has to have more of a role in what she's going to be doing. But I mean, maybe she played into it a little, I suppose, but like, not enough, So I don't know. We'll see what happens with her, where she's going. Maybe I missed what Ryan said to her in the plan, and I'm being foolish, and someone can correct me nicely, please. No, be a dick. I don't care. I can take it. Down below. Anyway, oh man, when Ryan has that guy in the car and he pushes him out the door, and then he drives fast, and boom, the door takes off, and the guy's halfway out the door, and it cuts him in half. Fantastic. Just so good. So damn good. Then we see a bounty out on Esme for $500,000 during the purge, and she's out on a motorcycle driving around, so people could purge and get rich at the same time. They'll definitely capitalize on that if they happen to catch her. But I mean, a motorcycle out in the purge seems like a really stupid thing to have. Like, all people just throw something at you and you're down. You know what I mean? So a motorcycle in the purge is not the best vehicle, not the best mode of transportation. But yeah, she looks cool. God, she's gorgeous, man. She's such an unbelievably gorgeous woman. Anyway, I love that the bounty on Marcus is taken down, and then the neighbors come across the street, and I was like, oh, they want to do it themselves. They're like, we don't want anybody else impeding on our revenge here. Like, no, never mind. We don't want to spend the money anyways. So how about we just take it down? We'll handle this shit ourselves. And boom, the friends show up. We should have been here before, so they got some more help there. And boom, we're going to war, man. We got what's going on with Ben and his buddy there, and then you got the Esme Ryan thing. You've got this with Marcus and his friends. Like, such a great setup. The purge hasn't even started yet. Next episode, the purge starts when all the shit goes down. Wow. What a freaking awesome setup for the next episode. Anyways, are you guys loving this like I am? Let me know. See you next week.